together, especially when you look at Rogue Warriors comp where both Rumble and LeBlanc, right? It's all about the burst damage coming in. You have the shield coming out from Karma. You have a very tanky team composition other than that Varus. So I think Ford.
I love this from RNG. You wanted to see them have a slightly better early game. This could be it. Wei now going to jump in, going to at minimum burn the flash of 8917, but he flashes forward himself and jumps straight on top of it, and that's going to be a dead set up in the top side. First blood to Wei. Perfect start for RNG.
That plays so heavily around their top laner.
Ooh, bot lane. We're going to see Chocho getting engaged on, but it's Ming. He's not calling ambulance, but not for me as Chocho goes straight back in. They end up trading 1-for-1. Supports are both down. Both AD carries picking up a kill, but I would say Gala is the one with the push, and Gala's going to have a little bit more pressure than the Ezreal.
And now we see Xiaohu going with the call, so going to go up to top side and just chill for now, knowing he has an easy lane. And we see Chocho being the one to go for the engage. We know Leona does have a bit of an easier time looking for these early on. But the 1-for-1, I feel like overall does favor Gala because we know Varus, level 2, much stronger than the Ezreal, can just force him off the wave. We saw him playing in the minions as well. So
put himself in that top side of the jungle. Is sneaking himself into that brush, but Wei will just run straight into him. He gets the overheat. So much damage, and Wei has no way out. No flash. Ice Coke with the solo kill.
And this
breaker, but speaking of making it work, they're going to look for maybe a dive in the spot side. You have Cry and you have a TP. It's a party. All 5 members of RNG are going to be joining it, and it looks like Rogue Warriors are just giving it up. They're saying survive as long as you can, but you will not be able to escape this one. Wei gets himself out. 2 kills going over to Gala. Perfectly done there by RNG.
And just really nice. They should have numbers advantage at first, and you would expect this to just be a herald in favor of RNG.
Well, Ming threw out a hook there, seeing if he go up. There's the equalizer, but the shield, we talked about it in Champ Select, is just so damn good at mitigating all of this early damage. As we can see, 8917 flashes in because Mega Nard back out. They do drop him down. It's going to be Xiaohu flashing away, but he gets taken over by Ice Coke, who ends up getting him down with the Flame Spitter. They jump in. There's a showstopper, and Wei drops as well. Oh no, it's all gone terribly, terribly wrong for the side of RNG, but can they get kills? So many low health bars right now. Ming picks up 1. They're going to be able to pick up 2. They trade back a little bit here as Ming just dodges out.
Oh, Zhang Wuji!
There's a good one, but Zhang Wuji is not done. He wants to continue fighting. Oh, piercing arrow! It's all Gala. I've done this before. It's Gala. 1, 2, 3. Looking for a 40. Will have his piercing arrow in 2 seconds time. Does he look to try and get the kill onto Zhang Wuji? He won't be able to get it. It's an all-out brawl, and only the AD carries survive. RNG, you need to wait. You need to calm down. You just got an extra 3 kills onto your Varus. He needs to go back and spend that gold. You can't just go for this fight again. As I say that, Wei jumps in on the Chocho. The equalizer's back up, and Wei is only done and killed himself. Realistically, they will trade back, or they won't actually. Excuse me. It's Ming who goes down. Now Ice Coke taking a lot of damage, but look at Gala. He can't join this fight. He's too low on mana. He's too low on health. And RNG, they're just throwing this away at Rift Herald.
And RNG just not respecting the cooldown of Equalizer. It is very short even early on in the game, and you can try to understand what RNG were trying to do, right? Because they push up in top side. We saw Gala push, barring right now because they are making this Herald play mid, but after this goes however it does, you want to see LeBlanc start being in a side lane, right?
Oh, here we go, TP, flank from Xiaohu. He's going to be able to get the Marbar, but only down onto 1. It's going to be Azanya straight away, the showstopper, to bring him back in on top of the rest of his team. Flash forward, there's going to be a Haymaker, but it's not going to be enough. It's a trade of 2-for-1 in favor of RNG, but it got a bit dicey there for them there. You can see the power that Rogue Warriors have in a front-to-back team fight, and Xiaohu did not get much of a purchase on his ultimate. Don't want to fight it. Again, these choke points are so difficult to go into. TP coming into the mid lane, that's just going to be Cryan joining up with his team, but that dragon is gone, and this lack or slow tempo, as I say that, Chocho goes in. They're going to drop the equalizer down on top of the showstopper. No one's really kind of full committed to this. They're going to be the Ming going down, but RNG do trade it back. Support and a top laner for just a support. This feels like Rogue Warriors were kind of on 2 fronts about what they wanted to do, and now they lose out in the trade.
So the big thing was RNG did a nice job of like they kind of think coming in when we saw the LeBlanc coming out, right, is you're jumping into a composition that has a Karma. Other than that, it is 2 tanks and a bruiser in the Xin Zhao. It's going to be very hard to find any meaningful damage on anyone if Gala is positioning well. Upside, then default back to controlling waves and start threatening out that Baron bait to get a TP advantage.
Speaking of getting an advantage, we're going to see the TP coming out here for the side of Rogue Warriors. It's going to be immediately caught by the Chain of Corruption, and that is going to be 8917 almost straight away deleted. Gala using these piercing arrows so beautifully. Another 2 kills goes to Gala, and now with the most of your engage gone, I think you can turn and burn for this Baron.
And yeah, that was just a bit unfortunate from 8917. He thinks that they've caught RNG. He's flanking coming from behind them. But with Xiaohu TPing as well, they're not able to follow up. But Forge going to try to make something happen. But Forge just gives his life.
Deleted. Ming able to get down the passive auto attack to root him down in place. Now, Ice Coke is there, has Flash, has himself a smite, but has to use his Flash straight away over the back end of this fight and use the Blast Cone as well to get himself back to safety. They are going to be able to take him down, though, and now they can turn their ideals to the side of the Ezreal. Zhang Wuji taken out and buried in the backyard of the river, as that's going to be the Baron taken now, and that is the go sign for RNG. They finally find themselves a big enough vantage.
And they finally have the confidence to try to walk into topside river. And we see Chocho thinking they can do this. I think especially with the fact that 8917's TP is coming in behind them. But look where Xiaohu's TP is channeling in. That zones the other members of Rogue Warriors from feeling safe to walk forward. And by the time any kind of fight can break out, 8917 is already deleted.
Warriors to really kind of, deal with these minion waves, they have to go for a fight, and you can see now Gala is the target, but there's just so much shielding onto him that there's just not really much you can get onto him. Now they can see the re-engage going in on top of it. They get the tower, they get the Leona, they get the Rumble, they get everything, and Rogue Warriors are scrambling. They just don't know what they want to do. They just don't know if they can do anything, and RNG will keep pressing on. They will look to take down this inhibitor turret, they look to take down the inhibitor, and hell, they might even look for the game.
I mean, when you're 8k gold behind, Rogue Warriors really don't have any options at this point, and RNG's doing such a good job of pushing forward, knowing that they're stronger, forcing these fights to come out. And with the fact that Forge is being distracted by Wei, RNG can just end.
They can just end. They use the TP there just to get the Karma back into the fight, but 8917, as soon as he goes in, ends up dying straight away, and you can see Forge trying his very, very best, but it's just not enough. In 32 minutes, it will be the win for Game 1 of this best-of-3 series, going over to RNG. They will pad their stats. They will get a hell of a lot more kills. 15-0-6 for Gala, as he put out a hell of a performance on this Varus.
Yeah, really nice to see from RNG. We saw some creative things coming out, especially that
because he does stop a lot of what these power picks want to do. Nocturne, Set, Rumble, Kaiser, and all this. It's an all-in brawl trying to jump out on top of you. One well-placed Glacial Fissure, and that entire
has been his build of choice on the Gragas, but RNG might be looking to set up another dive bot. They do have both TPs.
Oh my god, it is rinse, repeat here in the bot side, but instead of 5, they're only going to put in 4. Ming tanks up as much as he possibly can. So does Gala, so does Cryan. They haven't quite taken down Betty just yet. There it is, double kill for Wei. As clean as you like for RNG.
Yep.
Or maybe even 2 kills onto your Ezreal, but speaking of which, Cryan might have to flash himself out. He is going to go not over the wall, actually. He's just going to try and fight Forge here. It's now as a 2v2 as Forge goes over, does get the Facebreaker and the Haymaker, but a speed up and the shield. Cryan should be able to keep himself alive. Does get the knockback, but Nocturne is hovering. Not quite got the paranoia just yet, as Forge knows he is just pushing himself down towards this bot side. Cryan going to try go for the execute. Don't think he's going to be able to get it in time. He needs about 5 or 6 more seconds. Not quite able to do it. And that is going to be a... Oh, it is! Oh! Actually, never mind! He got the execution. Cryan, very nicely done. To challenge that, will end up pushing in, but now with Cryan back into this wave, you can see Forge just trying to hover around as well. They do have a showstopper, but no flash, no ghost. There's the equalizer down all over some wolves and a Gromp, as we can see the TP coming in. This is going to be Xiaohu coming in with the explosive cast. Has not got the belly bop just yet, still waiting for it. We can see the flash from Ice Coke. The paranoia goes down. There's a good explosive cast to separate everybody, and the paranoia is just to disengage, but the disengage can't come out. Chocho accepts his fate and ends up falling down. RNG 4-0 up in this early game. Going to be able to pick themselves up a dragon as well. And this is fantastic for RNG.
And
planned, if you will, is when he doesn't pop the paranoia first. Normally, ooh, as I say that, Forge, Jesus, taking a lot of hurt here. Now Chocho has to keep him safe. We can see the True Shot Barrage going over and whiffs across everybody, but Xiaohu died, but they traded for Rumble. They end up stealing away the Rift Herald, and now RNG are on Operation Take Away the Rift again, as Ming goes in, gonna get Showstopper down on the backside of this Gala, trying to do enough damage on the back end. Killer Instinct, though, from Betty puts him right in the face of the Braum. And no one's going to be able to take down this Rift Herald, this incredibly, I don't even know what you want to call it. It just seems like a dumpster fire for RNG. Just stay away from it. You don't need to go near it. Able to kind of get this one going, but the cross map happening up in top side. This should be a pretty easy dive here, as Octar doesn't really have a place to go. He's going to try and get in. He's trying to get the spell shield down, doesn't quite get it. Xiaohu just keeping himself in the tanking of the turret, and they're able to trade that one very, very nicely. To respect that from the side of RNG, and they've got themselves a 1,500 gold lead, as the kills are kind of pretty much what their advantage, and the dragon, of course, are they're having right now. And speaking of advantages, we're going to see the paranoia, and 8917 just deletes Xiaohu. Xiaohu scratching his head, not quite sure he calculated that one correctly.
Yeah, one shot first. 8917. We're not done. Crying might be getting picked off.
He might be getting picked off as he gets with the haymaker, but oh, the Braum there to the rescue, and Chocho tries to flash away, but the concussive blows are enough, and Crying gets himself a return kill. Nicely done there by RNG.
Wait.
Happens just like yes,
it is.
I did it.
It's great.
I don't know why I didn't think I'd get 100 CS as an AD carry, but I'm going to stop myself there. Speaking of AD carries, I might be in a little bit of trouble. Betty gets hit with the concussive blows, and they have to use the paranoia defensively. They are going to go in straight away now. Off on top of that, the equalizer does get dropped down, and there's going to be Braum who gets dropped at the start of this play, but the Zinzao is huge.
Oh.
The True Shot Barrage misses everybody. They're not quite able to get anything away. Trying his very, very best. Xiaohu as well goes golden. They do trade out 8917. Look at these low health bars. They're trying so desperately. Oh, Chocho does the exact same Zanya's, but this time he falls. And that's going to be a nice trade back for RNG. A lot was committed there from the side of Rogue Warriors, but it all started from Betty almost getting caught out, and at the end of the day, kind of getting away with it.
We have seen plays like this many times, not exactly work out, but Crying doesn't have flash.
Crying does not have flash, and he gets face break on top of the equalizer. He's dead. Good shutdown over to Ice Coke's Rumble. And that is a nice little bit of gold into his back pocket. As we can see now, they can just actually take this bot lane turret as well. So nice move there from Rogue Warriors, and it's good again to see them looking proactively for these plays, because I feel like the one big thing that we wait for to see from these lower end teams or the bottom of the table teams is proactiveness in the game.
Now I have a question.
The sides. Nice Coke as well, just waiting for that cooldown to come up. But do RNG really want to go for this one? They have got 2 items onto the Ezreal. You can see Forge hovering in the fog of war. They land a hook. Paranoia comes out. Dragon resets. There is the Showstopper on top with the Paranoia. They're trying to full dive. They're trying to go for this full ascendancy. They do find the Ezreal, and now Rogue Warriors. Can you get out? Can you get the damage down? Betty still free hitting on the backside. You can see him. They're just going forward. Xiaohu flashes in, but it's Betty. 1 kill, 2 kills. Not able to get any more. And Ming is hopping in and out like just madness right now. He will not allow RNG to lose this fight. RNG take it 4 for 2. And that is just a fantastic move. And never mind, it's going to be a 5 for 2 as Wei just keeps pushing forward. And we talked about how massive this jungler is. Ming and Wei carried that fight.
I mean, I think the biggest highlight to me was the fact that Wei is just casually zoning off 3 members. They can't walk past him. They can't duel him. He has the damage to be able to take each of them down if he so chooses. But there were a lot of highlights and lowlights of this play. We're going to start off with the equalizer coming out from Ice Coke. Doesn't really hit any members on the side of RNG. Chocho looking for the engage. Paranoia coming out as well. It doesn't separate anyone because RNG are fine just trying to kite this fight back. Still with 8917 and Betty jumping in, they do find their way onto Gala, but Wei still is the primary damage coming out for this side. And now with Xiaohu, Crying, and Ming able to focus on one target, look at Wei. Wei is fighting all 3 of the other members of Rogue Warriors to allow this fight to be cleaned up. And a lot of this just goes back to that early game, right? It's not Zinzao being super busted or OP. It's Zinzao having a ton of money in that satchel.
His satchel is bursting with gold, as has himself the Sterex Gauge, has himself the Gore Drinker, and Betty might be in a little bit of trouble. Paranoia comes out defensively as now RNG, they don't know exactly where everyone is. Xiaohu gets caught up here. He might be trying to be CC'd down. Great equalizer to keep this fight very much separated. The Glacial Fisher, and there's a fight on two fronts, and now Rogue Warriors, they find the Brom. They have Betty on the backside. He is still safe. He is still putting out damage, but look at just how much Wei can tank up. He's just sitting in front of this team, soaking in all the damage, and he still comes out with about 2/3 of his HP.
Low. Ice Coat even had to go for the base, but 8917 and Betty are here. Some kind of miracle play. Maybe not probable, but is possible.
Oh, it's like a repeat of game one, though, where they keep walking in one by one. They all fall down, and Rogue Warriors, they'll only lose one this time round, as the Baron does end up going over to the side of RNG. Equalizer does get popped down. Betty just keeps himself alive.
Woo!
Yes. Oh, never mind. It's the get the champagne out. It's enough to go over. And now RNG, they've got these staggered kills. This is important. It's better to die as a unit than it is to die in these staggered 20-second intervals, because now RNG could look to try and take an inhibitor.
Yeah, RNG can just force numbers advantage on you and take your structures, right? Both of their soul laners have... Actually, Xiaohu doesn't have TP just yet. Looks like it'll be up in a few seconds, but heck, even when it's up, Xiaohu can start channeling his TP. They can take this turret. They can take an inhibitor. They can start rotating up towards top side, at least guarantee that inner turret top. But instead, RNG are looking to want to play all three lanes, with Xiaohu heading down towards the bottom lane. But still already massive gold swing for the side of RNG. Already getting 3,000 gold off this Baron.
They haven't even reset to spend it yet. You saw them. They went immediately from Baron straight away. Take the mid inhib. Oh, TP though. Very, very deep here from Rogue Warriors. I think they feel like there's a timer. They feel like they have to go for this one. The Paranoia has been used. They know the TP is not going to be able to be used for a couple of seconds, but the Nautilus is dead. You can see the Showstopper, but the Glacial Fisher does enough to just dissuade absolutely everybody. They went for the Hail Mary, but the Hail Mary was not answered. Their prayer went uncalled, and that is going to be RNG pushing forward, crying so aggressive, just knows he can keep facilitating his team. And now with a minion wave, with the death timers, and with everybody dead, they are going to end this game and take their first win in summer 2021.
Yeah, great to see RNG find a rebound win in this series. I think game 2 especially looking a lot cleaner for RNG. And it might be a win, but they still want to get a few more of those kills, as Xiaohu just ends up executing himself, which, you know, you just won 2 championships. Do as you please, Mr. Xiaohu. But yeah, RNG finding a win that is very well needed. You can see they don't look all too how they won. It still was a bit messy.